All right, this is a video to change the oil on a 2020 Hyundai Palisade. In this case, this is a limited model. I'm going to replace the oil filter in the oil, and I'm going to change the drain plug with a Fumoto F106SX, so I don't have to keep opening the drain plug when I change it again. To take the oil casing off, I'll use a 27mm socket. If you don't have a 27mm, you could probably use a crescent wrench or something else. It's a plastic casing that we'll show you when we get under the car. All right, so here's the drain pan for the Hyundai 2020 Palisade. There's the drain plug. It's a 17mm. In order to have better access to this, you're going to want to remove this panel here. There is a 10mm screw here and another 10mm screw here, and then there's 4 that we'll take off here, and then there's 2 little push tabs that we'll remove, and then that will take this panel off. I'll be replacing it with a Fumoto drain valve here, so that in future reference, all I have to do is open the valve and not have to take this panel off. We've removed the splash guard panel. There are 2 silver 10mm screws in the center here, and then there are 4 black 10mm screws, and then there's 2 punch tabs. Hopefully we won't have to do this again next time we change the oil when we install the Fumoto drain valve. All right, I've got the oil pan underneath. When I open this valve, obviously as indicated in other videos, it's going to come out pretty steady and probably splash against the unibody of the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a piece of cardboard here like other people have done, or tinfoil, to keep the splashing to a minimum and let it drain down the cardboard and into my drain pan once I release it with the 17mm. So this is a 17mm head on this one, and then we can go ahead and start loosening it to drain the oil. Oh. What we're going to do is remove the oil canister cover. There's a little bit of a drip valve here, as others have pointed out. This is a 27mm. You can buy these at the oil store. I've got a socket for it. If not, use a crescent wrench. It's not on there tight. The whole housing is plastic, so theoretically, factory installed, it shouldn't be too hard to get this to come off. There it goes. It starts to turn. You should start getting some oil drippage. There it comes. Use some more. There we go. I'm gonna let it drain for a little bit. Alright, so it's slowly stopped draining too much. We're going to go ahead and remove the plastic canister. And I suspect the oil filter will stay up inside. Nope, it came out with the canister. You can see there's the oil filter inside the canister. We've got a little O-ring here that we're going to replace. It comes with the oil filter. We'll let it drain a little bit, but we'll go ahead and clean this up and switch it out. All right, we've gone ahead and removed the filter from the oil canister. Next thing you want to do is you want to make sure you remove and replace this seal. You usually get one with your oil filter. In this case, mine's a different color. You want to make sure you install it back on the right spot, not inside of this one where you see the little weep holes for the oil to be able to move through the canister. So we're going to go ahead and remove the seal there. It should come off relatively easy. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and replace it with this one right here. Comes with your kit, washer. Sometimes you'll want to lubricate this with the new fresh oil. But we're going to go ahead and seat it back on there, and then I'll apply some of the oil to it. There we go. There we go. And we've seated that in there. And I'll probably apply a little bit more oil to it, but the new seal silted in there. All right, let's go ahead and install our oil filter back into the canister. You'll have a little bit of a snug fit in the housing right here. Should be able to slide right in, and then we should be able to push it in, and it kind of sits in place there. So now we're going to go ahead and reinstall our canister. All right, we're going to go ahead and install the new oil filter back on. I've put a little bit of oil on the seal here, fresh oil, and wipe the canister clean. You should be able to just hand tighten it. The nice thing is Hyundai was smart, as others have pointed out, and included the torque on the actual 27mm nut. You should be able to hand tighten. In this case, it's getting a little stiff, so we're going to go ahead and use the socket to kind of turn it the rest of the way. You get a little bit of resistance as you're tightening it in there, and then we'll finish it off with the torque wrench here. All right, we're going to go ahead and install the Fumoto valve. This will make sure that I don't have to change the drain plug each time. It's got a little safety clip. This is the F106SX, so it's at a 90-degree angle. Comes in two pieces. I put a little bit of lube on this side, and then this is what goes up against the oil pan, this seal here. So then you connect these two. Don't want to push it in all the way, but we're going to go ahead and hand tighten it on there, and then it'll seat itself. I'm going to have it angle at a 90 degrees just to miss the oil pan, and we'll show you a shot of that as we get a little bit further in. We're going to, even though we're still dripping a little bit, we're going to go ahead and hand tighten it on there. There we go, starting to get a hand tight. Now it's starting to seat itself. And then you can adjust the swivel. I'm going to have it angle at a little bit of an angle because the splash guard is going to be like right here. So I'm going to have it kind of push out this direction. There we go. And we'll show you a shot of that once we install the oil splash guard back. Next time I change the oil, all I'm going to want to do is remove this blue clip here. It comes off. And then you're going to lift the valve and then rotate it 90 degrees, and then the oil will drain out of here into my pan. When I'm finished, lift it back up, and then reinstall the little protective safety clip. Keeps it on there. As you can see, when I put the splash guard back on, it's kind of bumping up against my drain valve. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little piece of this out so it fits a little bit better around here, because obviously it's still butting up against this when I put this screw in. So I'm just going to mark it with the Sharpie here, and we're going to create a little bit of a cutout for it to fit a little bit better. All right, we're going to go ahead and we marked it here, and then we're going to cut it out with our little handsaw here. Okay. You can see it looks like we've got enough room here for our bolt to come on, and it clears our spring valve. Got just enough space there, so we'll put that on. Put this silver one on here. And then reattach 4 10mm black bolts, and then we'll put our tabs in. All right, when reinstalling the tabs, they'll be pushed in, so you just want to push them back out. They should come out of there. Yep, I pushed it in, and now, there we go. You'll want to make sure that they're like that. You'll kind of guide, without dropping it, guide them back in their hole, and then push them shut. And the next one is up there. There we go. It looks like our cutout gave it enough clearance there that I can still remove the valve and then open the thing up, and it should drain. So not too bad. For the most part, it should hopefully keep it from hitting. All right, as you can see, I've chose the F106, which is at a 90-degree SX. All you have to do now is to remove this plastic clip, and then you would essentially lift up on the lever and then rotate it 90 degrees, and then the oil will drain. There is a little slight concern here, being close to the ground with the valve lever open up, that I could hit something with the safety guard. I might change this in the next oil change, go out and change to a straight one. There is a concern that, you know, it would bump up against this, and it's not exactly the best fit, but for right now I think it'll do. We'll just see how it operates. But there is a slight concern that my wife drive over a curb and clip this and knock it, but I think being an SUV, it's got a little bit extra height, so just something to be aware of. Others might choose a different scenario for Fumoto Valve than what I've chosen, which is the SX 106.
So I basically took the oil cap off that says to use 5W30, Mobile 1, full synthetic. So I took the cap off.
Thanks again for watching the oil change for a 2020 Palisade Limited. Shout out to my 6th grade daughter for video.